In Chapter 5, we're going to talk about learning self-management skills. By the end of Lesson 5.1, you will be able to describe the stages of physical activity change. You will be able to describe several different self-management skills, and you will be able to explain how you can use self-management skills for living a healthy life. In Chapter 3, you learned about the benefits of physical activity, and in Chapter 4, you learned about how much physical activity you have to do to get those benefits. In this chapter, you will learn how to become active if you are not already active, and how to stay active if you are currently active on a regular basis. Some people are more active than others. The least active is the couch potato. Couch potatoes are totally sedentary. More than 40% of all adults over 18 are included in this stage because they do no regular physical activity. You might think there are no teen couch potatoes. It is true that fewer teens than adults exist in this category, but 14% of teens can still be classified here. In an ideal world, all people would be active exercisers, but sometimes people move slowly from one stage to the next. For example, a couch potato might read about the importance of physical activity and start to think about being active, but take no action. A person like this would move from being a couch potato to being an inactive thinker. An inactive thinker does little physical activity, but is thinking about becoming active. At the next stage, a person starts planning to be active. For example, the inactive thinker might visit an exercise facility or buy a new tennis racket. The person has now become a planner, even though he or she is not yet active. The next stage is actually becoming active. The activator goes to the exercise facility to do exercise or play tennis with a friend. The ultimate goal is to help all people progress to the stage of the active exerciser. When this stage is reached, a person is active on a regular basis for a long time. We know from viewing the physical activity pyramid that many different kinds of activities exist. It is possible to be at a different stage for one type of activity than for another. For example, some people do active sports regularly, but may not do stretching or muscle fitness exercises. You may be interested to know that girls are less active than boys in all types of activity other than flexibility exercises. As teens progress through school, they become less active. So how do you become more active if you are not as active as you should be? Or if you are active now, how do you avoid becoming an adult couch potato? Experts have studied these questions extensively and have learned that people who learn self-management skills and use them regularly are likely to be active and stay active. All of the self-management skills listed here can help you no matter what your current stage of physical activity. However, some are especially useful in helping you to get started. They can help people who are couch potatoes or who are thinking about becoming more active. Other self-management skills help you to plan to be active. Finally, some are most useful in helping you continue to be an active exerciser and avoid dropping out. You have already learned about several of these self-management skills, such as self-assessment, building self-confidence, reducing risk factors, and choosing good activities in chapters 1 through 4. In this chapter, you will learn about goal setting, and in the remaining chapters, you will learn about the other self-management skills. A major purpose of this Fitness for Life unit is to help you live an active, healthy life. To accomplish this goal, it is important for you to learn about and practice each of these self-management skills. By the end of lesson 5.2, you will be able to explain how goal setting can help you plan your fitness program, and you will be able to identify some guidelines you should follow when setting goals. Suppose you wanted money for a specific purpose. It might be to buy a CD player, a bicycle, or a car. Or you might want to go on a trip or need money for college. Most likely, you would develop a plan to get money. You might decide to babysit after school or work on weekends. You would identify your goal to make money and then develop a plan to reach it. Successful people use goal setting as part of their overall planning to achieve success. They decide ahead of time what they plan to accomplish and then establish how they will go about doing it. You can use goal setting to plan your personal fitness program. Goals that take months or even years to accomplish are called long-term goals. When you plan your fitness program, you will want to consider two types of long-term goals: long-term physical activity goals and long-term physical fitness goals. When setting physical fitness goals, long-term goals are usually set for more than 1 month and up to several months or even a year. An example of a long-term physical activity goal would be to spend at least 30 minutes a day in activities from the physical activity pyramid each week for the next 2 months. You should examine your long-term goals periodically to see whether you need to adjust them in any way. Obviously, long-term goals are sometimes hard to accomplish because they require a lot of effort and dedication. For this reason, you are more likely to succeed if you perform activities you enjoy. Fun activities not only build fitness, but they also enrich life. Setting long-term fitness goals is a good idea, especially if the goals are consistent with your long-term physical activity goals. If you do the right kind of physical activity, your fitness will improve automatically. For example, a person who meets a long-term activity goal of doing at least 30 minutes of physical activity each day for 2 months would no doubt meet a long-term fitness goal to improve fitness by the end of the 2-month period. Long-term fitness goals are important because they increase the probability that fitness improvement will occur. Of course, doing the right kind of activity and doing it regularly is critical to meeting long-term fitness goals. Short-term goals can be reached in a short period of time, such as a few days or a few weeks. You might set a series of short-term goals to help accomplish a long-term goal. Most physical activity goals make good short-term goals. Walking 30 minutes a day for the next 2 weeks is a short-term activity goal. It can be accomplished in a short time, and with effort, virtually anyone can accomplish it. Your participation, rather than your performance, determines whether you meet the goal. Although physical activity goals are good short-term goals, achieving fitness does take time. A realistic short-term fitness goal is one that can be accomplished in 4 to 6 weeks because it takes at least this many weeks of regular exercise to produce fitness improvement. An example of a short-term fitness goal would be to move from the marginal fitness zone to the good fitness zone on a fitness assessment. Each year, millions of Americans set unrealistic short-term fitness goals. One reason is that many people choose short-term goals that cannot be accomplished in the time allotted. This explains why so many people waste their money on products that claim to give them quick fat loss or fast muscle gain. These products do not work because fitness does not come quickly. If you are a beginner, you should focus on short-term activity goals rather than fitness goals. If you meet your short-term activity goals, you are making progress toward getting fit. Set goals for increasing activity in one or more areas of the physical activity pyramid.